Hey guys, just going to give people a couple minutes to join me and then I'm going to get started. How's everyone doing today? Having a pretty good day for me. Just finished writing a new blog post, really excited about it. So, good, some people are joining. If anyone wants to chat, there's a comment box, so just put the comments in there and I can see them, can answer questions and all of that. So this is the very first time I'm using Facebook Live. I'm excited. This has been something I've wanted to try out, but then I haven't done it yet. So I'm excited to just, give it a whirl this time around. So yesterday I actually shot the very first episode of my new, I'm calling it a TV show, but it's basically just me talking to a camera, telling you awesome stuff about being an author. But it's called AuthorpreneurTV. So today I'm doing a live episode and I'm just basically telling you exactly what it takes to be a really awesome authorpreneur. So not just an author who writes stuff, but someone who actually sells it, who, is entrepreneurial about how they approach being an author and, to just show you how I've done all the things I've done and gotten to where I am today. So, okay, I'm going to get started and hopefully some more people will join as we go. So, welcome to Authorpreneur TV Live. I'm Jennifer Blanchard. I'm an author and a story development coach. I work with emerging novelists who want to write really kick-ass books and get them published. So last week, 2 weeks ago now at this point, wow, I can't believe it's already been 2 weeks. I actually did a live workshop 4-day retreat with my mentor, Larry Brooks. You may have heard of him. He's a badass. He's the, reason that I even became a novelist officially. And he's amazing. So if you haven't checked him out, definitely look him up on Google. But, hey, Lisa, glad you're joining me. So I did this retreat with him and it was really awesome. And I got to help, 26 writers just work on their stories and develop their idea into an actual story idea. And the craziest part was I saw that there was so much potential in this room. I mean, there was so much potential and people were really excited about what we were doing and what we were talking about. And, when I got back from this event, I really felt like this fire had been lit in me. Like I already, had a mission and I had this passion for what I do, but I felt like this event just really brought it to a new level. And so I really was on fire with passion, with ideas, with all these things I wanted to do in my business and as a writer. And I've also been working with another mentor. So I'm in a bunch of the group programs that she's done. And she's like a totally amazing, visibility, business coach. And she's all about kicking people's asses and making you do the work that, you need to do to get the results you want. And something that I learned from her, and this was actually funny because it kind of coincided with this event that I was at. So I started learning about her list that she has. So she has a list of these daily actions that she takes every single day. And they're things that are going to be not just, random actions, but stuff that's actually going to make a difference in her business and in, with her writing and all the stuff that she does. So I thought, I had this excitement going on with the event and, everybody was just, I'd gotten so much going on and I'd just been really excited about it that I decided I was going to run a little, challenge for myself or a little experiment for the rest of this month. And I may have told some of you about it, but basically what I decided was I was going to follow my mentor's daily actions list every single day. And I was going to, do all this stuff on there and I was going to create new content and I was going to just see what happened. And so last week, I actually created 20 brand new pieces of content that I did not have at all, except in my head, until that moment. And so I'm really, really excited about it. And I've already kind of gotten started on the stuff for this week too. And it's been amazing. And so I wanted to just give you a little, run through of what I've been doing. And again, I'm testing this out till the end of the month, but I'm already seeing that it works and it works really well. So this is going to be kind of crazy because the stuff I've been doing is really simple, but it's made such a huge impact. And I mean, I've already gotten tons of emails from people saying, oh, I'm so excited about this content you've been doing. I feel like you've been taking things to a new level. And it's exciting for me because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So anyway, I made a list. Here's my little list here of all the stuff that I made last week. And you can kind of see it. But yeah, so I did a whole lot of stuff. I actually had 5 blog posts, 2 guest posts. I was interviewed on 2 podcasts. I made 4 episodes of my new Instagram show, 15 Seconds of Story. I posted multiple times on all my social media accounts, several times a day. I made a video about haters. I created 6 new trainings and resources for my Students of Story membership site. I pulled together all the new content for my ebook that I'm putting together. And I did all of that in 1 week, which is crazy because the week prior, I don't think I could have imagined myself doing all of that. And this little process I've been using has made a huge difference and has actually shown me that it is possible to create a lot of content in a short period of time. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did right now. So first things first, I have a list that I follow. So, and this list has actually become something of a bit of, and it's only been a week since I've been using it, but honestly, it's been this impactful on me that I've put it everywhere. So I actually have a little sticky version on my MacBook so that it comes up on my desktop every day and I have the list there. I have a version that I printed out and actually mounted to a piece of cardboard that sits on my desk. And then I have a whiteboard across the room that I actually have permanent marker written this list on. And I'm checking things off as I go throughout my day. So here's the list, and I won't go through the whole thing, but it says daily fucking actions at the top. And these are basically things that you need to do, or, I'm doing every day in my business and my, writing life to get moving on the, goals that I have. So basically I just go through the list and I check things off every day. And what's cool is that there's actually a time set for each of these items. So that way I'm not, spending, I have the whole day to just do this list. If that was the case, I would probably end up messing around, getting, sabotaging myself, getting on Facebook and playing around for 3 hours and not doing anything. So this list actually having a time for each activity makes a big difference because then I know, okay, I only have to work on this for, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And then the other thing I've been using is this. This is a little kitchen timer. You probably have a timer on your phone. You don't have to use something like this, but I had one of these sitting around and I wasn't using it. So I thought, I'm going to start using it more. And so, I just go through the list. And each item, as I check it off, I go, okay, so my first thing is journaling. Well, I do that first thing in the morning when I first wake up before I do anything else. So that's literally I'm in bed, I grab my notebooks and I do my journaling. So that's a 20, 30-minute thing for me. So that's the first thing on my list. Cross that out. Now, for me, the journaling thing is so powerful because it's a really great way for me to set my intention for the day and to just get myself in a positive mindset and just thinking, really clearly on what I want to create each day. And I actually did a video about this yesterday, not a live video, but I did one. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Okay, so then the next thing on the list is read something inspiring until there's a spark. And so a spark just means you get an idea for something you could write about. So that's allotted 5 to 10 minutes. Now, I usually don't have to read that much, but sometimes I do. It just depends. Sometimes I'll watch a video from if, my mentor's made a video or something, I might watch that instead of reading. And that, gives me some inspiration. Lisa, do I get up at the same time each day? No. So I try really hard. So I'm kind of not a morning person. I'm better at night. And so I tend to, sleep in more than I should. But as of, the Your Story and Sarah's event, I actually had to get up at 7 a.m. every day because the event started at 9 and we had breakfast at 8. So I've been practicing getting up earlier. And so this week I've managed between 8 and 8:30, which is probably late for most people, but for me, that's actually early because I tend to go to bed at 2 a.m. So for me, that was really good. But I am kind of playing around with different times because I do want to have more of my stuff done earlier in the day so that at night I can actually relax or, go and do some social stuff because I do find myself, working a lot, which is fine because I love working and it's not really work to me because it's something I love to do and I enjoy it. But, there still needs to be some downtime. So yeah, I need more practice with the getting up at the same time thing. Okay, so then after I read and I get the spark, then I actually write my blog post or a guest post for the day. And so I originally just had it as a blog post. That's what my mentor does. She actually writes her daily blog post. But I decided to also make it either a blog post or a guest post because sometimes I feel like I only write guest posts for other blogs if I'm thinking about it. Whereas this forces me to do it every single week, And so last week I wrote 2 of them. One was on Huffington Post, which got published last week. And then another one I sent off to, pitch basically and see if they'll take it. So I kind of incorporated that because that's almost like a marketing thing that's automatic, but then it's an article at the same time. So I kind of do both. I write the article for my blog or I write it as a guest post. And then I go through, and I won't go through every little thing on here, but basically I have, 10 minutes set for money activity. So that's just like checking in on, do I have any bills due today? Do I have any invoices that I have to send out or anything like that, for the work that I do. And, and as an author, I check in on my Kindle book sales just to see how things have been going and all that, because what you focus on expands. And so if you can really, start to focus on the stuff you want to create, then you'll start to see it grow. And so for me, I want to see more book sales. And so, of course, I'm going to start looking at my book sales stuff every day so that I can just pay attention to it and see how it's doing, which is pretty cool. And I've actually found that I'm on average selling about 5 books a day, 4 to 5 books a day, which is decent. And it's happening almost every day. I mean, I think last month I hit every single day. So far this month, I think I've only had like 2 days where I didn't make any sales. So that was really cool for me. But yeah, so what you focus on expands. So I have that. I have admin stuff on here, and that's because, I have to do customer service. I have emails to take care of and all that stuff. So I do all of those things. I have movement on here, which to me is super important to be on here because I'm really bad at consistency when it comes to movement, which is also called exercise. I don't like that word because it doesn't sound fun to me. So I say movement. But it's really important to have some sort of movement in your day. And especially when you work a day job and you want to also write and do it for real and be published, because you're going to run out of energy. And so movement and having exercise in your life is going to give you that energy that you need to actually, just feel better, have energy, be thinking clearly and all of that. So I try to do my movement in the morning if I can. Depends on when I have client calls, but I usually try to do it before I, start my writing day, my work day. Okay, so then just going through. So then I have sales activity on here. And the reason that's on here is because, especially as an author, you have to be an authorpreneur. So not just an author, but an authorpreneur. You have to be thinking about sales. So how am I going to sell more of my books or whatever it is you're selling? If you have, like digital products like what I have, you have to be thinking about this stuff because no one's going to sell your stuff for you. You are the only one who can do that. So I actually, and this was, again, my mentor totally wasn't the inspiration for this list. I did change a few things, but mostly I'm using her exact list because it's that awesome. And she has sales activity on there, 30 minutes a day, minimum. And it's a good thing to do because it's like, okay, what can I do today to, move some sales forward with my book? Okay, so maybe I can reach out about an ad possibility, or, maybe I can post a promotion for it, like write something about the book and post it somewhere. Or I can, put together a Pinterest board that shows people all the different pieces about my characters or stuff like that. And then I can, just let them know, hey, here's where you can find the book. Maybe I could post a review and let people know like, hey, this book is out there, it's available. I mean, the whole thing is you have to be your own salesperson. And it's really, really hard for authors, especially because, traditionally that's not what we did, obviously, as authors. But then the other thing is we're introverts. And so we kind of have this thing about putting ourselves out there. And it's been tough for me. I mean, I've been practicing since 2008 with getting my stuff, published and online and all that stuff like that. But I'm not that great at it still. And like, you might not think that because you see all the stuff I do, but honestly, like before I went live on this video, I was having a panic attack. Like I was literally like, couldn't breathe. I was just sitting in front of my computer, like freaking out. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go live. Like, am I crazy? But I've done Periscope videos, tons of them, so it's just getting over that initial like freak out, like, oh my gosh, this is live. People can see me. And I'm not just shooting a video, by myself and I'm in a room, no one's watching. It's just me. This is live. And so it's scary, but like at the same time, it's just like hanging out with your friends, so it's cool. And the more you practice putting yourself out there, the more you'll get better at it. And as an authorpreneur, you have to. So it's just something, it's like a necessary evil at this point. So anyway, so all of these different things. So now I go down into the actual content stuff. So now I've got on here creating free content for social media. And I have 10 minutes set aside for that. Now that doesn't seem like a lot of time, but honestly, set a timer for 10 minutes and just create some stuff for your Facebook page or, create something for your Instagram account. And then just see how much time goes by. I was actually pretty surprised because last week I thought, oh gosh, 10 minutes, like how am I gonna make content in 10 minutes? But I did that. I set the timer. I was able to make an episode of my 15 Seconds of Story, which is my new little series that I'm doing on Instagram. It's, because Instagram videos are only 15 seconds. And so I'm actually just making these videos that are only 15 seconds to just give you little tips about writing stories. And so I shot the video, I edited the whole thing. I put, and it's just a simple edit. I take the picture that has the title and I just kind of merge it with the video. And then I put it on Instagram. And so I thought, oh God, that'd be like at least 10 minutes. And I looked down at the clock and there was still 3 minutes left. And I was like, oh my God, like I really got that done in, 8 minutes. That was pretty, or 7 minutes, whatever. Sorry, I'm stuck at math. 7 minutes, like that's pretty good. And so I was like, cool. So now I still had 3 minutes left. And so I was like, all right, well, let me make, a quote pick for my Facebook page or something like that. So it's like, you can really just in short times, put things together. And because I knew I only had 10 minutes, it really allowed me to focus, and I knew the timer was on. So I wasn't distracted by other stuff going on. I was really focused on, okay, I'm just creating free content for my social media accounts. And then it was done. And then I have 30 minutes for creating paid content. So this is for like my membership site, any courses that I'm running or workshops. I actually have a 30-minute time each day for creating content. Now, the cool thing was I was able to create all the content that I needed to deliver for the month last week for my membership site. Well, I created it all in one day. And so I still had 4 more days of, well, I have 30 minutes to do whatever I want. So I ended up creating 6 additional trainings and resources to go in my membership site, which is really cool, and stuff that I didn't have planned for the month, but that my members are going to get to take advantage of because I'm, working at a whole new level of content creation. Okay, and then I've got on here, let's see. So I have writing books, 15 minutes. Now that doesn't seem like a lot of time, and this is only for my nonfiction books. If I'm doing fiction, that's a whole other thing. I will do at least 30 minutes of writing on my fiction, usually an hour, but I'll do it in 30-minute blocks. So I'll do one 30-minute, I might take a break for a minute and then come back and do 30 more. But with my nonfiction, it's something that I keep having all these ideas in my head and I want to get them out, but I'm not doing it. And so by having this built in every day, 15 minutes to work on my nonfiction books, I'm actually making progress. So last week I put together all of the content for my new ebook that's going to be coming out by the end of this month. And I'm excited because I started brainstorming ideas for a few other books I'm going to write. And I actually challenged myself to write and publish 1 ebook a month for the rest of this year. So that's a little crazy and it might not happen, but I'm going to try because, no, I'm not going to try. I'm going to commit to making it happen because, do or do not. There is no try. So yeah, I'm going to do that for sure. Okay, but having 15 minutes a day to work on the book is really helpful because think about that. If you do that 7 days a week, it adds up. You start having some progress. And so even if you don't have a lot of time, if you work a day job, if you only get 15 minutes on your lunch break, or, when you get home at night, maybe you only have a few minutes available to do your writing or work on your story plan or whatever it is, well, you will be surprised how much you can actually get done in short chunks of time. I mean, I have to say that I was blown away when I saw, after I looked it back on Sunday and saw everything I'd done last week, I was blown away at how much content I actually created. It really amazed me that it could happen so quickly. And it really came down to having the timer, setting the timer and having it available to keep me accountable to doing the work and not, walking away or, getting on Facebook, setting the timer, and then just really focusing and just giving myself specific things to work on as opposed to just sit down and write, because that can be very vague. And so it doesn't really give you an outcome. Whereas these things are outcomes. So it's like, I'm writing my book. That's going to be, getting the book out there. Or if I'm creating free content for social media, okay, so that's, the outcome is getting content on social media. And, it's going to help me grow myself as an authorpreneur, as a writer, as a story coach, all of that. And so by using this, daily actions list, I'm really making huge difference for myself in getting content out there, which to me is amazing because I have tons of ideas in my head. And maybe you're like me, you have tons of ideas, but you just didn't really know how to get them out there. Well, get a piece of paper out and make a list of all the most important things you would want to do every day if you were a full-time authorpreneur. What are the things you would want to do? And then set a time for each one. So say, I'm going to work on this for 15 minutes. I'm going to work on this for 20. It's it's just a start, right? So you might feel like, okay, well, I don't have a lot of time. But really, you're going to be surprised how much you get done. You really are. And so I feel like test it out, give it a try. And I'm actually going to put together, so I think I'm going to do this for my story community, Students of Story. So if you are interested in this, definitely check that out. But I'm going to put together basically a daily actions list that I think authorpreneurs should be following. And of course, including for when you're just in that early stage of you're not an authorpreneur yet, so you haven't published anything, but you are working on it. And so I'm going to put the actions on there that you should take as well. And just, you can use that as a list to, keep yourself on track each day. I'll give an estimated time for each one, which you can of course change if you want to do more or less. And then I'm going to, just put that in my group. So if you want to check that out, Students of Story, the URL is jenniferblanchard.net/students of story. And I'm going to put that in there. So does anyone have questions about this? I'm probably going to be talking a lot about this topic because it has been so huge for me with getting more productivity in my day and just really going to bed at night feeling like, man, I did something today. Like I got something done. I moved my business, my writing career. I moved it forward today by doing all these things. And really the other thing that I found is I feel inspired every morning. Like when I get up, I'm excited to get started on this list because it's all things that I want to be doing and it's stuff that I care about. And so to me, it's just like, it's fun now. I get to play on social media. I get to make videos. I get to, make little picture things and just put it out there because that's what it takes to be visible as an author and to, let people know what you're doing, because if you don't, who will, right? So if anyone has any other questions, pop them in the chat box now. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up. And thanks for joining me so much for this episode. I plan on making a whole lot more of these. I don't know that I'll do them all live, but I definitely am going to be making a lot more episodes of Authorpreneur TV, just telling you behind the scenes stuff of how I get my stuff done, what I do, and just, really trying to inspire you to see that it doesn't take, it takes work, but it doesn't take perfection and it doesn't take a lot of time to make it happen. You can really do this in short chunks. And even if you only have 30 minutes a day, you can move your story forward. You can get progress on your writing project. So, just keep going and definitely try out this, making a list, putting time to it, and then using a timer because it is huge and it's awesome. Catch you next time.